Okay, today we're going to do a little tutorial with Dirty Down Rust, which is a water-soluble rust paint. I've been using this for a while now. It's pretty cool stuff. Gotta shake it really well. The more the better. Okay, let me get it. Get a little on the cap here. Put it in a little container. Let's add a little bit more to it. Now it's water activated, so what I like to do is take a little bit of the paint. I grab some of my water and I add a bit to it to make like a rusty slurry. It's best to coat the piece with water before you apply it. I like to do this little mix. See, I'm going to make this arm match the rest of the body, which I did previously. So now we just take it and we apply it liberally here and there, using the different slurry to get in all the cracks and the flat surfaces. I'm going to go real weak underneath because this really won't be shown. Okay, now here we'll add a little bit of stuff straight out the bottle. This will give us a heavier rust effect. There we go. We'll just stipple it and dab it, blob it on. It'll dry the way you apply it, so you want to be careful. You don't want to be streaky or have brush strokes, but there you can see it actually drying in real time. Let's move this out of the way so we get some focus. And you can see it's drying as we're moving along here. It just dries really fast. And this side over here you can see is more watery, so it's drying more yellow versus this is more the orangey browns. Come on, gotta get focus here. Let's get this robot out of here. I think he's taking up my focus. There we go. Nice. Okay, we'll let it dry. As you can see here, it's starting to change. And if you want, since it's water soluble, you can reactivate it. So if you don't like a pattern you did or there's too much, just take some more of the water and apply it. It'll reactivate it and remove it. Make it less intense. You can also add some more to the wet areas here if you want a little bit more. Let's do this digit as well. The best part about this stuff is that it dries so fast, so you don't have to wait for results. There you go, you can see it starting to dry. Looks really cool. Let's add a little bit more rust here. You can see if we do a little stippling, break up the bigger chunks. Add a little bit out of the cap, out of the bottle. Let's go real heavy right here. Nice big blob. Let's see how that looks. I like to use the thinner stuff for like smaller cracks and grooves. There we go. Now we'll do the last digit here. Give it nice coverage. Add some more at the cap. There we go. More stippling. I mean, you can just go to town for this for days, so you have to kind of know when to stop. Okay, we'll just do this last part here I was holding on to. Yeah, and you gotta make sure you don't leave the cap off, because as you can see, it starts to rust because the air activates this stuff fast. So make sure you put this on your palette or in a little container when you're using it, and then apply more as you go. Here you can see the patterns showing up. Stuff is like really cool. You can see how it's drying differently on each limb. I'll let that dry a bit. Just a little more. There we go. Okay, here I let it dry for about a half hour now. You can see the colors are really coming in. Nice oranges and browns. Still some yellows. Nothing on the bottom really. But as you can see, it's not quite dry, so Here it is after about an hour, hour and a half. And make sure you wash your hands because this stuff is pretty toxic, so don't get it on your skin. And here it is dry. You could just leave it as is if you want a real rusty effect, but no, we're not going to stop there. We're going to tone it down a little bit. A dry brushing of dark silver here from Pro Acryl. So get your dry brush loaded up. Remove most of the paint on a piece of cardboard or paper towel. And lightly dry brush the dark silver over the rust, hitting all the edges and then the high points. You can go a little heavier on more flat areas where you think it'd be less rusty. You can see it right there. Just really adds to the piece. Whereas here, it's real stark. We'll try this piece here. Once again, just lightly applying the paint. You can see right there. Haven't added any more. It's still the same load of brushes I started with. And we'll try this piece here. That looks really harsh. Let's break it down a little bit. Add a little bit more paint this time. Yeah, it looks nice. With dry brushing, you want to have a real light touch. Don't go heavy with it. There we go. Just the edges here. It's looking good. Now we're going to take silver. We're going to dry brush the silver onto the highest parts where most of the paint would be worn off. Here, tops of the knuckles and the barrel. And this is not even lighter than I did with the dark silver. Barely any paint. Most of it removed. And we'll just apply that. Put some on the barrel here. And I can always go back and darken it up. Add some soot or some wear. But for now, just gonna add the silver. It's very nice. Add a little bit more here. And you can also stipple it on with the dry brush. So you just have some paint on the brush, wipe most of it off, and just kind of stipple it on here and there, just like that. Of course, the more paint on the brush, the larger the stippling will be. But since these are his fingers, I figure there'd be a lot of chipping and missing paint. You can also use a sponge technique to do this, which is also fun. But I figured I would just roll with it. Use my finger to blot. And there we go. Looks pretty nice. And I also did some work onto the claw arm. I'm going to stipple some onto his forearm here to kind of blend it. Just lightly here and there, just adding small dots. There we go. And then up here on his shoulder, I'll add a little bit of stippling up on here, covering up some of the rust. Put some on this roll bar here, this grill part. That's a lovely face. There we go. Okay, we'll add the cannon part to the arm. I'll fold this up and see how it looks. Blends in really well. I mean, it's the same technique after all. But looks pretty cool. I'm going to go back and add some chipping. So what I do is take some of the silver paint right from the bottle and apply it. I do add a little water to it to thin it out a bit so it's not too pasty and thick. With most metallic paints you have to do that. And then once again you can blot with your finger if it's too hard of an edge. It's really fun to do. It takes some time. You gotta sit down, just get ready and just roll with it. Blot again. And we'll do that on his feet here. Add a little bit of the watery silver here and there. Here I'm going to add a little bit of chipping to the side of this toe piece. Add a little water with the silver. And you can do some streaking. And the water will kind of pool up and get a cool effect with that as well. As you add a little bit of it and then blot it away, like right here. You can do it like here. You can see it's really watery. Just blot it away. And for scratches, make sure you have nice thin down paint, and just using the tip of the brush, lightly score across the piece. You can do crisscrosses, whatever you like. If you don't like it, you can always blot it away. And that's that. Here we go. Let's put his mask back on here. And this I just stipple with some silver because it's a little bit brighter than the rest of his body. And he looks great. This was a model kit from Yolo Park, and it's already pre-assembled. All you have to do is basically put the limbs on and a couple of the armor pieces, but it's a really cool piece, highly posable. But in the movie, this character was like really weathered and rusty, so he needed it, as he's basically just all silver straight out of the box. So I figured this would be a good test run to try these video tutorials out. Since I was already working on them, I figured, why not? So give me some feedback. Let me know if this is good, if you like long form, short form, and we'll go from there. I hope this tutorial helps. If you have any questions, you can message me. I'll try to get back to you. But yeah, Dirty Down Rust. Easy, fun. Give it a try. Coming soon.